And now, direct from Las Vegas, it's Football Forecast Weekly.
Welcome to another edition of Football Forecast Weekly. Hi everyone, I'm Trip Mitchell. And in just a few seconds, we're going to visit with the Sheriff, Dennis Tobler. And Dennis has got some great insight for us. Speaking of great insight, if you'd gone with Dallas last week, what a great game against the Detroit Lions. Dennis gave you Dallas plus the 3 points. You'd be in the money right now. And a little later on, Dennis is going to have some great pro picks along with some great college picks. So let's talk about college football this weekend. Now we've got two interstate matchups we're going to focus on. From the state of Florida, this is a weird one. Take a top 10 undefeated team, put them on the road, and they're getting, top 10 team, mind you, 21 points, and that's Miami against Florida State. Now, Florida State has been the story this year. That team is back to the Bowden days. It's a great program, but still, a lot of value. Miami, they're a top 10 undefeated team getting 21 points in October. I've never seen that before. And the other interstate matchup that's going to be very interesting this weekend is Michigan State. That's always a great game. Dennis, what are your thoughts?
Well, that's right, Trip. It's been a very long time since two top 10 teams have played each other, and one of them was a 3-touchdown favorite. But that's exactly what we have as Miami travels to Florida State this weekend to take on the red-hot Seminoles. The Seminoles are 22-point favorites over Miami in this battle of state rivalries. And I'll tell you something, Florida State's quarterback is the real thing, and he's moved his way up to second in the Heisman Trophy voting at this time. And if he pulls off a big win in this matchup, he just may win that trophy. The ACC conference is a very weak conference, and they are the cream of the crop in that conference, and I look for them to win big. But 22 points just might be too big. I'm going to take Miami plus the 22 in this matchup and hope they can stay with the Seminoles. The next matchup is Michigan at Michigan State. Michigan State's a 5-point home favorite here, and this is a black and blue conference battle of all time. This is a big rivalry, and this game should be a battle to the end. Michigan seems to screw up once in a while, a little too much actually, when it gets into the big game scenarios, and I think on the road they may have their problems here. Michigan State's a 5-point favorite, could be a shootout. I'm going to take Michigan State in this one. And before I send it back to you, I want to congratulate John P., the winner of our contest last week. Picked 11 out of 12 NFL winners. It's easy to navigate to the contest. All you got to do is go to the Football Forecast website and click on Free Contest. And this week, once again, our contest winner topped the 55 bookmakers who put their selections in the Gaming Today magazine that floats around the casinos here in Las Vegas. So it's really impressive to me, some of the people that watch and listen to the show. And John's a 3-time winner now, so Adriana, our 2-time winner, has her work cut out for him. And beating hundreds of entries each week with these kind of selections is a tremendous accomplishment, and congratulations need to go out to both of them. Back to you, Trip.
Hey, thanks so much, Dennis. Now let's turn to pro football. And again, last week we told you before the weekend that the big game would be Dallas-Detroit. We also said that you've got two good quarterbacks, not great quarterbacks, but two outstanding receivers. And Megatron came through. Not only did he have one of the 2 or 3 greatest games ever by a receiver, but a lot of clutch catches there as well. On the other side of the ball, Dez Bryant, he's got all the talent in the world, but he's a knucklehead, and you saw him get in a fight with Jason Witten with just less than a minute to go in that game. We'll see whether that brings the Cowboys up or not. Now let's focus on this weekend's games, and there are a couple that are really intriguing. The first, the Colts and the Texans. Now, the Colts only laying 3 points. This is a team that beat Denver in a huge game just a little while ago. They've got a lot of talent, Andrew Luck, but they're going up against the Texans. Now, a lot of people prior to the season, myself included, felt that the Texans defense, combined with Arian Foster, would lead to a team that could very well be playing that last weekend of the year in the Super Bowl. They've had a miserable season, but again, the Colts only laying 3. And then the other game is really intriguing to me, and that's Seattle against the worst team in football, not the Jaguars, they might be the worst, but the other Florida team across the state, and that's Tampa Bay. Coach Greg Schiano is just lost this team, and 17 points sounds like a lot, but Seattle's got the best home field in football, and again, Coach Schiano came from Rutgers, is doing a horrible job this year. We saw the release of the quarterback early. So those are the two games. I'm really intrigued to see what Dennis has to say. Dennis?
Well, I must say we had a tremendous week last week with our handicapping. We won both college games on the board that we analyzed on TV, and also the handicap selections from our Gold Star program are hitting at a tremendous rate. We're up over 208 units for the halfway point in the season, and that's a tremendous, tremendous win. Also, I would like to say that one of the hedge funds that I consult for is up 62% since football started. The other one, with a little different business model and not as risky, is up 40% since football started. So the information that originates and is assimilated and disseminated from this office at Bed Central has certainly been powerful the first half of the football season. So now let's take a look at what happened to us last week on our NFL pick on our TV show. I chose Dallas on the money line against Detroit. Detroit was a 3-point favorite. We covered the 3 points, but Dallas failed to win. And as if you all know, any football fan knows, Dez Bryant, the Cowboys receiver, is one of the reasons why I figure I lost that game. I can't stand that guy. And I'll tell you something. When I played football, anybody that blew his mouth off like that would have got his head knocked against the wall, and that would have been the end of that bullshit. When Jason Witten confronted him on the sidelines, he should have knocked his earrings out, because I've never seen such a selfish individual, and he has no place on any team. And for Jerry Jones to come out and actually defend this asshole is something that I cannot imagine, and that's why Jerry Jones can't put a winning football team on the field. Between his redheaded stepchild coach and the rest of their team, they don't know how to win, and they're not going to win. And they're certainly going to be on the bottom of my power ratings as we go forward this year. So yeah, I'm pissed. The Cowboys did not cover on the money line, because that cost me a lot of money and my clients. So enough of the Cowboys and enough of this Dez Bryant. I hope he's out of the league like the rest of the loudmouths, like Terrell Owens and some of the rest of them, because the league is better off without him. All right, the matchups this week you have for me: the Colts at Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans season is a bust, and I knew it would be starting the year. I mentioned on this show that Kubiak better win or he's out of a job. And I can tell you right now, at the end of the season, Kubiak is out of a job. And thank God Schaub isn't playing quarterback for him, because whoever plays is better than he is. However, they're playing one of the best teams in the NFL with one of the very best quarterbacks in the NFL. Andrew Luck is much better quarterback than Cam Newton and RG3, than any of these guys that get all the press from the media-biased East Coast press. Andrew Luck has the ability to think while the game's in progress, and he manages that game, and he's as talented as anyone that plays at that position, including Peyton Manning, and I predict he will bring Indianapolis more championships than Peyton Manning ever did. So, you know who I'm taking in this one? I'm taking the Colts, and I'm laying 3. Houston's given up on the season. The next matchup is a joke. Tampa Bay at Seattle. Seattle opened at 17, down to 15.5. Have no idea why wise guys are putting their dollars down on Tampa Bay. You're right, Tripp. This coach that Tampa Bay has needs to go back to Rutgers. He has no place in the NFL, and he will be gone at the end of the season too. So whether you play 15 points, it's going to go up to 17 when the public starts betting on Sunday, and lay the 17 points. It's not going to matter, because Seattle's going to roll over Tampa Bay like they weren't even on the field. So take Seattle and lay the 17 points. I agree it's not an interesting matchup, but that's the way I see it on that game. So I'll be back in a minute with some more program updates and more information.
Hey, Dennis, thanks so much. As usual, great information. Speaking of great information, your national network of pros who give you a ton of information. And then Dennis puts it together with all of his 30 years of experience betting in Las Vegas around football and all the sports and comes up with some great picks to make you money. Speaking of great picks, Trips Tips. Check them out. I've got a pick on Saturday, Sunday, and then a Monday night pick to make you some money. Well, that'll do it for this week's show. Best time of the year for football. For everyone at Football Forecast, I'm Trip Mitchell saying thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Well, thank you, Trip, and thank you to my staff and crew for the very nice welcoming I got today when I arrived to do the show. It was very kind of everybody to remember our anniversary. And I want to take a second to say it's not easy being married to a professional sports and horse race gambler, yet my wife has handled it with grace and dignity for all these years. She's a tremendous mother and also a professional in her own right. She has been a nurse for over 40 years and won every award that her industry offers. She is truly one of the angels on this earth, and I'm really happy to have had to be the pleasure of being her husband for all of these years, and I hope we have many more. So I'd like to congratulate my wife too. Happy anniversary, Cindy. And for all of you out there watching, I do want to tell you that I have not forgotten this week, and I do have some special plans for it, and that brings us to the point in the program where I need to update you on a few of the changes that we will have. First of all, there will be no show next week because my wife and I will be on a week's vacation to celebrate this anniversary. And second of all, we're trying to transition from baseball into basketball, and we're getting our hedge fund software prepared, and when we come back, we're going to really knock it out of the park for you. So we'll have a 1 week hiatus, and then we'll be back again the following week with our regular version of Football Forecast Weekly. So happy anniversary to my wife and to all of you who wish us the best. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.